How you feeling? About as good as you look. Jeez, you look like Lex Luthor.
There is a reason that villains are just as ingrained into our pop culture vocabulary as the heroes we love so much. A hero's story, after all, is only compelling if the villain they face is truly threatening. I mean, when you see these heroes, you inevitably think of the villains they face in their stories. But when you look at the more B and C-list superheroes, can you really think of their villains? No. What separates the less popular characters from the big boys is a lack of a nemesis. I'd like to think that the popularity of the top heroes is owed to the quality of their villains. In this video, we'll be looking at my favorite villain and nemesis, Lex Luthor. Have you ever played a sport? You probably have. Trust me, this has a point for this video. Well, ever since I was in middle school, I ran cross country. When I first started running, I was slower than the girls. And though I grew faster over the years, I was always leagues behind the other racers, seemingly no matter how hard I worked. And I worked. I ate the proper runner's diet, I ran every day, I did speed training, and even ran my first marathon at age 16. But I was never able to be a contender for the top spot. And for years that pissed me off. The idea that for a reason out of my control, I would never be a first place racer. I know you have felt this anger too. Whether it's from someone who looks better than you and gets all the girls, someone who gets better grades than you without them even studying, or someone who's better than you at a sport just because of their natural athletic talent. Whatever it is, it sucks. That anger is the basis for the character of Lex Luthor, the nemesis of Superman. When you look into Lex's backstory, he was dealt a shit hand in life. He grew up impoverished in hopeless Smallville with an alcoholic and abusive father. Lex took this unfairness and worked the system to build power of his own in the largest city in America. Lex took all of his dreams and aspirations to make sure he was in control of his life and went to Metropolis where he conquered it and everyone else who stood in his way. And then one day Superman shows up, stealing the media spotlight and becoming the face of Metropolis. Despite Lex's lifelong work to become the most powerful person on the planet, and despite being the smartest person on the planet, Superman has it all just because he's an alien. Superman has it all without earning it. In the mind of this bald fuck, he has earned the right to do, well, anything he wants. And it's true. Lex has earned his place at the top. He views people weaker than him deserving of being stepped on if they can't fight their way out of their own problems as he has. And yet there is Superman, someone with the power to step on those beneath him, but none of the right. The way I looked at all those runners who beat me, those I knew that didn't train as hard as me, is much the same way Lex views Superman.
Lex, I know there's good in you.
This very relatable jealousy is what makes Lex Luthor such a compelling character. But his existence also adds flavor to Superman. You see, for all of Lex's very valid anger, Clark Kent is just as angry. Lex Luthor has been established as someone who can cure cancer, distribute his wealth to foster the economic growth of the community, and has even proven himself capable of being a true superhero in the wake of Superman's absence. For all that Lex is built, and for as smart as Lex is, Lex doesn't use his power for good. Look what happens when Clark visits him in prison.
I'm trying to educate you. We all fall short of his sickening, inhuman perfection. Feel that, Kent. Real muscle. Not the gift of alien biochemistry, the product of hard work.
The entire character of Superman is built around the concept of, what if someone good had power? It is only fitting that his nemesis be someone who has power in the traditional sense, but does not use it for good. The secret identity of Superman is not a billionaire, or a genius, or the ruler of a country. Clark Kent is just an average dude. The provocation of Clark Kent as Superman shows us that you don't have to be an elite in Lex's position like so many other heroes are to do good in the world or to be a good person. Let's take a look at this interaction between the two foes in what many consider to be Superman's greatest story, All-Star Superman. In this story, Superman finds out that he is dying soon and struggles to find out how to make sure the world stays in good hands in his absence. Meanwhile, Lex sits on death row, plotting to make sure the world stays in his hands. Eventually, Lex manages to steal Superman's power for himself. Now watch what happens next.
Lay down your weapons and you won't be hurt.
Ooh. Can we have a show trial before we put these traitors to death? Are you okay?
Better than okay. I can see the entire electromagnetic spectrum. And those must be atoms. Little clouds of possibility. Einstein couldn't connect the gravitational force to the other three. But if he could have seen this, it's so obvious.
Uncle Lex?
The fundamental forces are yoked by consciousness. Everything's connected. Every one. And this is how he sees things all the time. Every day.
I don't know if I should be worried or mortified.
It's a cruel joke. The mechanistic clockwork of reality hinging on a precious, impossible defiance of entropy, on life. And the clockwork doesn't care. It's like it's all just us in here together. We're all we've got.
You are embarrassing me beyond therapy.
You'll have to forgive him, Nostalthia. He just figured out how everything works.
Gravity warps time. Superman trapped me in a relativistic conundrum.
He's trying to say his 24 hours of superpowers just ran out.
But it's only been a couple of hours.
Relative to us, the gravity gun sped up his clock a little.
You think I didn't make more of it?
Looking for this?
Give it back! I saw everything! I saw how to save the world. I could have made everyone see! If it wasn't for you, I could have saved the world!
If it had mattered to you, Luthor, you could have saved the world years ago.
You're right.
What makes Lex the perfect nemesis to Superman is that the two secretly want what the other has. That's why the greatest threat to Superman will always be a Superman.